a saying that you may have heard Steve Hardison say, you may have heard Steve Chandler say, what gets measured gets done. And one of the things that I wanted to do in this school is not just say, hey, we're going to help you grow your business and these are the promises, we're going to meet the promises and then hope for the best. I wanted to raise the consciousness of all of you as business owners, because you are all business owners, even if you don't realize it. And I find that a lot of coaches are treating their coaching practices as a hobby. I used to treat it as a hobby. It was a glorified hobby. And really running your practice as a business is just to be aware of the numbers. How many people am I speaking to? What's the value of the proposals I'm making? How much money am I making? If you're invested in this school, and the primary reason you're invested in the school is to grow your coaching practice, well, it kind of makes sense to look at, well, how am I doing against that? And it helps you to help me. Because if you track your numbers every month and you're not doing that well, you can tell me. But if you're not tracking your numbers, and it sounds like a funny thing, sometimes you've got a delay of several months before you realize, how's my business actually doing? And by that stage, we might be at the end of the school. Or we might have had 2 modules done, now you've only got 1 module to try and get the value you want out of the school. So it's twofold. One is really making sure that Felipe and I can deliver on the promise of the school and ensure that what we're sharing with you is going to help you get what you paid for. But 2, ongoing for you, just as a way of being, is understanding it makes sense as a business owner to be tracking my numbers. It makes sense for me as a business owner to know where I'm at on a month-to-month basis and not kind of just wing it, which I used to do. So like Felipe says, we're not here to babysit you. You are all adults. You're all powerful, powerful coaches. And you're all incredible business owners. And so we just want to encourage that and have that be part of the school so that it becomes just second nature to you to be on top of your numbers. Now, I did when my coach made me tell him, hey, Kush, can you tell me how much money? And I used to do it weekly. I would have to send my coach every Friday, Steve Chandler, this is how much money I made from this week. And I remember I went through 3 weeks where I had to send him 0, and I went 0, 0, 0. And then I was like, I don't want to send him another 0. If I hadn't done that, it probably would have been another few weeks before my consciousness would have caught up with, well, how's the business? I don't think I've invoiced anyone for a little while. So it just speeds up that process of knowing where I am in the business. So it's super important as a way of being. And I've found every single person who's done this has told me it's been so valuable and so helpful for them. And you're not in competition with anyone else. This is about you tracking your numbers for you. And we're not going to hide, right? We're not making this a private thing where you just send it and we collate it. It's open. And what I found as well in the law school, one of the bits of feedback we got was it's really useful for people to see, because we never get this. We never get to look at other coaches' numbers. No one shares that. And people found it really helpful. They're like, oh, so-and-so in the school, man, they're having a lot more conversations than me. I didn't realize that was possible. Then you go and speak to John. John, how are you having so many conversations? Like, I'm hearing what Ankush is saying, and I think I'm trying to do it, but you're implementing it better than me. Tell me what's going on, right? Or you see someone in the school, and this happened last year, who you might have judged. You might think, oh, this person, they don't seem like a pretty good coach. And then you look at their numbers, and you're like, wow, they're really doing well. What is it that I'm not seeing? Again, it's an excuse to connect with them. They're your peers. Part of what you pay for of being in the school is the connections in the room. So if you see someone like, oh, this person's actually doing really well, guess what? Maybe they can help you. Maybe they are committed to changing the consciousness of the planet through changing the industry. So they might have a vested interest in helping you. Hey, Peter, tell me, you've got really good numbers. Do you work with this kind of thing? I'm trying to work with those kind of people. Can we have a chat at lunchtime? Can we have a conversation? Yeah, sure. Use him, right? It's all designed to help you. Now, I don't want to put an expectation on anyone. Does anyone genuinely not want to do this? And if you don't, there's no judgment, there's no shame or anything, but does everyone see the value of this? Does everyone really still want to do it? Yeah? All right. So our request is, I'm going to make a new request. Can we just request that you guys get this back to us within a week? It's really going to help you. It really will. I promise you, it will really, really help you. And here's, if this doesn't incentivize you, I don't know what will. It will make you more money. Really, it will. Just tracking your numbers, you will likely make thousands of pounds more than you would have by the end of the school. Maybe tens of thousands of more, but definitely thousands more than you would have not tracking it. I've seen that.